This is Straight Talk with Sister P. Last time we talked about why hire a general contractor. Now, this week we're going to talk about a little more of Mr. Price's background and get into a little bit more meat as to what he does. So, Mr. Price, welcome again.
Thank you for having me.
Can you share a little of your background with us?
All right. Um, I think what helps me, but I can't say this about every general contractor. I have background in accounting, which helps me with the budgeting when I'm doing budgets. I am actually a real estate broker as well as a construction supervisor. I use my background for everything that I do. So this is my background. This is who I am.
So did I hear you right? You have a degree, right, in accounting?
Yes, I have a degree in accounting, and I do have a degree in housing and community development.
Oh yes, that's what it is. Housing and community development.
Yes.
All right. What else do you have degrees in or licenses in?
Well, I'm a licensed contractor, but yes, I'm also a licensed letting contractor as well. And you're right, letting contractors is not part of construction. That's a whole different avenue. And yes, I am a licensed letting contractor as well. So all those things go hand in hand when I look at a job, or when I'm, managing a job or acting as a construction manager for a homeowner. I take all my skills and put them into whatever I'm doing.
I see. Well, so you have accounting background, you have real estate background, you have housing and development background. What don't you have?
Well, I'm not a licensed plumber and I'm not a licensed electrician.
Ah, but you still play a great role in that because when you're hired as a general contractor, now you have to get your plumbers and your electricians involved. So they all become part of that general contracting.
Yes, it's called making yourself a complete person.
Yeah.
And you have to like it and you have to enjoy what you do. I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I'm excited about going to work. I don't feel as though it's a job. I feel as though it's something that I do and I like to do.
That's a very good point you make because a lot of people go to jobs that they don't like. And so they're miserable. But you like what you do. So you get up every morning, you're up and about, and you're excited about the day. Well, sometimes the day doesn't go as you planned. But being a manager and having good management skills, you are able to take that, whatever is going on, turn it around and make it into a productive day. Now, would you say that's kind of what happens most of the time? Especially like when it snows or when it rains, you're always having to reconfigure your schedule.
That goes along with the job. You have to, when I go home at night, I always sit down, I always plan, but I always plan several days in advance because you never know what, as you say, here in the Northeast, you don't know what kind of weather you're going to have. You might plan on doing interior work today, but the weather might be bad, or the weather's good, so you're better off going outside to work because the weather's in your favor. Or if it's bad, you have to go inside. So you have to be able to make adjustments on the fly, and that's extremely important. You have to be adaptable, and you have to have the right people that work with you, people who could adjust, because it's not always going to be the way you want it to be.
Yeah, that's true. Because I know that a lot of snowstorms, I've seen you having to get up early, look at your schedule, and say, okay, what are we going to do now? But that's not what really happens, though, does it?
No, it
Because you're a
doesn't.
master planner. You plan ahead. So you're listening to the weather report days in advance. You're looking at, what's going to happen. You're looking at who's available. You're calling the guys and saying, hey, what's going on? So you're always planning ahead anyway. So when there's a problem on the job, or not on the job, but when there's a problem before the job starts, you are able to finagle the bagel, as you always say. You're
Absolutely.
always able to juggle, the people around and juggle the jobs. So if you had say an outside, if you had outside work to do, say this week, and then it rained like how it rained a few days ago, then you would look for work that the guys can do on the inside. Because what's your motto? You're not just feeding the worker, but you're feeding the family. And you're a family guy. You love families. So tell me a little bit more about how you feel about these guys that are working for you.
Well, as you said, it's not all about me, and it's not always about the guys who are working for me, but each person that works for you, remember, most of them have families. Most of these guys are family men who have children. So if they don't have work, then they can't bring money home to the family. So it's important that they all keep going on a consistent basis. The only way it can keep going on a consistent basis is that management has to be on top of things. I do take pride in saying that during the pandemic, we never had to close down once during the pandemic.
Wow, that's
You know,
remarkable. Not a lot of companies can say that.
no,
With the COVID happening and the weather and all that, there are a lot of layoffs, and they're all there are people who don't have jobs, but you always had a job for these guys, and that's why they enjoy working for you, because they know that they're going to get paid at the end of the day. So one thing, I want to go back to the construction segment for a little bit. How important is it to communicate with the homeowner to make sure that they understand what it is that you need from them, what is it that they're expecting from you, and how you're going to make that work? How do you handle that?
communication is everything. If you're not going to show up on the job site today, you need to call the homeowner and let them know you're not going to be there today and why. That's very, very large in terms of communication. If you can call them the night before so they don't stop themselves from being home, they might have things they have to do. So if you can call them the night before, if you're good at planning, you call them the night before, let them know it's not a good idea to come. You may not be able to get the material. You may have guys that are out sick. You don't, whatever you know that the answer is, the sooner you can inform the homeowner, the better. As soon as the homeowner can inform you that it's not a good idea to come today, because they might have COVID running through their household, or they may have to go off with an emergency, the better it is for everybody. Even when you go into the store to buy something, communication. Everything is communication. Like you said before about the marriage, you communicate in the marriage, you have a good marriage. You communicate with the homeowners and the contractors, you have a good relationship on the job. Even in real estate, if you own property and something's wrong inside the property, the tenant should communicate, and you should communicate. If you can't get somebody to fix the problem today, let them know that you'll have somebody there tomorrow. Maybe we can come there and just do a quick fix, and then tomorrow be able to pay a little bit more attention to it.
That's so true. Because a lot of times, landlords try to go and fix things in the tenants' apartments, and they don't want to let them in. They don't want the landlord to see what's going on in the apartment, so they make it difficult. So it is very important to have good communication between the landlord or homeowner and the tenant. So I know that there are those of you out there who are homeowners, and you also have residential properties, and you have issues with the tenants. We will take that up another time, but for right now, thank you for tuning in to Straight Talk with Sister P. Again, we had Mr. William Price on the second segment. And next week, we will be discussing something else, so you don't want to miss these segments. And if you have something that you'd like us to mention, please give us a ding so that we can know what we should concentrate on. So this is Straight Talk with Sister P. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
And
having me.
have a good evening or day or night whenever you're watching. Please, please, please remember to like, share, make your comments, and of course, remember to subscribe to our channel. Bye-bye.